Hi, everybody. This is Max Voltage here. Basically, I'm the guy who loves to look into all the gory details of mining or crypto. And in this episode, I am going to be going over what happened with a strange transaction that happened a few days ago. If you hadn't heard, there was a transaction with a transaction fee of $23.7 million, the equivalent. It was over 7,600 Ethereum. And because of the way 1559 works, that fee was mostly allocated to a priority fee. So most of it went to the miner. So why did this happen? That's where I was really curious when I heard about this, is why did it happen? Initially was thinking that it was going to be something nefarious. Somebody was trying to launder some money or something like that. That was the initial investigation that I looked at. But thankfully, Diversify, who was involved in this transaction, came out with a post-mortem the day after. The same day, actually, they reported that this large mining fee had been returned and that the miner was rewarded with 50 ETH as a good gesture for their good deed of returning it. 'Cause they didn't have to return it. They did it because it was the right thing to do. And honestly made miners look really good, as they were pretty much representing miners at that point and what was the right thing to do. So it wasn't nefarious, as was stated in this post-mortem, but it ended up being a bug. And I'll put a link to this article because it's a really good read. But I'll put a link to it in the description so you can take a look at it. But in general, it's a bug in the Ethereum JavaScript library, Ethereum JS, where this particular library helps to estimate the base fee. And in summary, you can't have the base fee be a decimal. Solidity doesn't like it, doesn't work with it. There are a few other things that they mentioned in this article that don't work with decimals. And when you do get a decimal, when you're doing this estimation of what the next base fee is going to be, it does really bad things. Things on the order of 10 to the 6th higher transaction fee than what it's supposed to be. And when that happens, that's what you get. You end up getting this $23.7 million. Now, the interesting thing about it is this only affects whales. If you don't have enough in your wallet to support what is being proposed, it just comes back with a failure. So there were a lot of failures that were happening that people knew about, but they were not really understanding. And they talk about this in the article as well. They were just like, yeah, errors happen. There's bugs, whatever, errors happen, no big deal. But nobody really understood why it was happening and what this edge case would be. I mean, we've had 1559 for 2 months, and all of a sudden, after 2 months, this thing pops up. So it's really, really an edge case. We've had lots of transactions since. So anyway, so basically there's this Ethereum JS, and because it estimates to a decimal instead of to an integer all the time, that's what can cause this problem. So they talk about some things that they would do differently. One is to make sure that they understand all errors going forward so that they don't, just take this as errors happen. So they talk about that Diversify would make sure that they investigated things a bit more in the future. But most of all, how to handle this edge case. And in this particular case, it became even worse because it was done from a Ledger wallet. And so the Ledger doesn't always show all the information in a clear format on the device. So the person actually making the transaction doesn't really know that this is happening at the time. So anyway, there's a lot of things that go into a lot of the detail about this as to everything that happened. I won't go into that, but bottom line is it was a bug. It was due to the fact that it was estimating the base fee with a decimal instead of an integer. And this caused the transaction fee to be estimated at an order of 6 times larger. So 10 to the 6th larger than what it was supposed to be. And with that, the base fee is the base fee. So that's you can't change that. But the difference between the transaction fee and the base fee is what the priority fee is in this particular example of what was being done. And that's why you have this really, really large priority fee. So a couple of other things I wanted to go over. This particular article, sorry, I'd scrolled down while I was talking, a $23.7 million Ethereum transaction fee. So I will post this link in the description. But if you notice, as you scroll down, I basically clicked on this. This is what this is. And then you go to the wallet. And this particular wallet is number 11, 19.3 terahash. That's this wallet. 0xb7e390864A is what it starts with. And that's exactly what this one starts with as well. So it was a large, I don't want to say mining pool. It's either one of two things. It's either a private mining pool, meaning that, you know, if Misfit Mining got all of their hash rate together and created their own pool. That might be what this is. This could be a conglomeration of a lot of different miners to create their own private pool, or it's an extremely large mining farm, one of the two. But it obviously, since they're mining and they don't put the name of their mining pool, it's going to be a private mining pool or a mining farm. So the way that the funds were recovered is that Diversify, who noticed this transaction, contacted Binance because they know that the deposit was made to Binance, and they made the contact with Binance in an attempt to contact the actual miner who mined this this block. And so they agreed to pass on the email address, and so basically put them in contact, and within an hour the funds were returned. So it was returned very, very quickly. So really kudos to that miner that, you know, whether it be a mining farm or a private mining pool, one of the two, you know, kudos to them for having given that money back, given that ETH back. And again, kudos to the whale that had this in awarding them. So that pretty much about covers it. Again, the money was returned. It's a bug, and that bug is due to the fact that it's estimating the base fee at a decimal instead of an integer, and this only affects people that, well, the bug does affect more than just whales, but anybody that is affected by this bug, their transaction will only fail, as opposed to going through and costing yourself $26 million or $23 million. So that pretty much covers it. If you have any comments about this transaction or about anything else I've covered, feel free to leave your comments below. Leave a like if you liked the video. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, and please subscribe. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.